popping a new bag into the litter tray. I thought I'd do this separately so that people can check that out. And of course, Shadow has decided to come and have a look because his little robot is coming to pieces, which always concerns him. Now, I'm just using at the moment standard from Coles or Woolworths, extra large kitchen tidy bags. That's what they look like. The main part of that is the sizing. You want to make sure it's got enough opening to fit the tray. This one is 82 centimetres by 64 centimetres or 50 litre. I get the pink one because if you get a citrus one, the cats don't like the smell of citrus as much. I personally do, but what can I say? It's not about me in the litter robot. So I've just used those. They're quite economical to purchase. You simply do the same thing you do with the litter robot bag. You roll it down so you have an edge. You set it into the tray, and what we have is we have pre-formed clips that the edge will slide into very nicely, not dissimilar to probably how you do your kitchen tidy. And I just tension it across down the two sides, along the back. There's the second side going in. Doesn't have to be beautiful, it's going under the litter robot. And then what we do is we have quite a nice little seal section. The better your seal is across on the left-hand side, the less spill you will get, like I had the little bit of residue going down. That's simply because I'm a bit clumsy. Okay, so there we have it sitting in there ready to go. The front section doesn't matter, the chute drops into here. Carbon filter, at this point just changing the bag, don't need to do anything. And of course the rubber mat at the front. So that one goes straight back in, under my little robot. Now, I'm going to empty this into the bottom. That's quite a simple process. All I need to do with that one is press here my empty button, and my little robot will cycle through and very, very nicely put that clean litter or part used litter into the tray, and I can transfer it to the manual tray for Shadow while the robot is not here. Obviously you can do this as well if you want to with a deep clean, or you can throw it out. I personally, I'm pretty economical and into recycling, so I would rather not throw out perfectly clean litter. You can see it's starting to roll down where normally you would see the clumps go down. The whole of the litter is actually going down because it's pouring the other way. Now, you can make it easier. Give it a bit of a tap. That should do quite nicely, and if it does stop the cycling, you can just press the button and it will start again. Sometimes you might get a little bit more litter still staying in there. Usually in relation to the right hand side, there's a set shield in place with a very small sort of inset clip. You can pop that out if you want to and re-empty again. It's, there we go. It's always a good thing to try and empty all of it out if you're going to be deep cleaning it, because the less there is left in it, then the less you have to deal with when you hose it, because I will be taking the globe outside and hosing it clean. Again, that's that little shield. Sometimes it helps to just put a little bit of very light pressure on it to keep it down so that it disposes of much of the litter back out into the tray as possible. Otherwise you can just run it a couple of times and whatever is left will flush out when you take it outside. And just remembering, if it stops because you've had a little bit of a play or perhaps touched it or played with it where it's decided you need to stop, just press empty again and it will finish emptying the cycle. You might notice that the movable shield rolls down and then flips itself back up. That's perfectly normal. If you do get it out of place because it's in relation to the black key at the back, you can reset that when you pull it apart, but that's its function. It's spring-loaded, so it should be able to sit and come back if you need it to without any problems of jamming. Alright, so now we have it empty, or as empty as I'm going to run it at this point. I'm just going to pull the tray out again. So you can see there, I now have some lovely, still very clean Cat Evolution clumping litter, and that is what is going to go into Shadow's manual tray. No doubt he'll be upset, but he has to put up with me borrowing his litter buddy every so often. At this stage, the next step for me is to turn off the machine, and then we can start to pull it apart. Turning off the machine is simply holding down the off button, and you'll notice the lights have all gone out, and then you disconnect the power, which is pull it out at the back. There we go, and disconnect it from the wall.